Hello, welcome to another episode of Dow's Weekly Digest. Do you have certain things that you do, or maybe you put them off until certain times? I do, a little bit. And it was time to get the old shoe shine out and shine the shoes. You know, I learned to shine shoes from my father. Can you imagine that? Sergeant Major Bartling. In fact, this is his shoe brush. LaDonna and I were talking about it, and I estimate that thing's going to be close to 100 years old. Yes, it is. But he taught me, to use only one type of shoe shine, kiwi. The other was get your shoe shine wax nice and soft and take your time. And take your time in shining your shoes. And when you shine your shoes, give them at least 3 applications. And he said, a person who's got well-shined shoes will always be a step ahead of the one who doesn't. Little food for thought there. But do you remember the thrill of getting a new pair of shoes? As I was growing up, my mother, much like I believe your mother probably did, for you, when she would take you to go get those new pair of shoes. She'd take me to the shoe store. Now, our shoe store, same store that we'd get our battery, die-hard battery, yes, or some tools, Craftsman tools. Yes, our shoe store was Sears and Roebuck. So I'd already maybe looked at shoes that I thought I would like by looking in that real thick catalog that came in the fall. But we'd be sitting there, and the person would help her getting me those shoes. And that particular instrument that person used was called a Brannock, Brannock, a Brannock. And of course, you had your socks on, and they would measure how long your foot was, and then it would also measure that thing how wide your foot was. And he'd come back with 2 or 3 different shoes that she had picked out. Then you put the shoes on, and you thought, okay, this looks like a good one right there. But then, when you thought, after you walked around up and down that thin carpet 5 or 6 times, that, okay, these are the shoes, we're ready to go. She said, come on over here. And then she would lean down, and yep, she would put her thumb right in the front there, and she would then push down. The thumb test. Using their thumb, they would push down on that end of the shoe to make sure that the shoe had plenty of what? Growing room. Why? Because they wanted to make sure that the shoes allowed for our feet to grow. Now that I'm full grown, I no longer use the thumb test. No longer am I growing. No longer do I need that extra room. For the rest of my life, I will wear the same shoe size. But as a general rule, we are done growing. Or are we? Perhaps we should look beyond the physical to our minds, to our character, even our personalities. All of these were meant to keep on growing indefinitely. The great thing about life is that there are no limitations on how much we can grow and develop. Unfortunately, most people don't tap into their growth potential. You know what strikes me about that thumb test? Our mothers weren't buying shoes for just that moment. They weren't just in the moment. They were buying shoes for who we were becoming. They understood something very profound. Growth requires room. Discomfort isn't just inevitable. It's necessary. A shoe that fits perfectly today will pinch tomorrow if you're still growing. And here's the thing. Most of us forget as adults that particular item. We stop applying the thumb test to our lives. We buy everything to fit perfectly right now. Our jobs, our routines, our relationships, our habits. We want them comfortable, predictable, snug. No growing room. No wiggle space. Just comfortable. And comfortable, if we're really honest with ourselves about that, is just another word for stuck. So here's my suggestion, that when we step into this new year, give your life the thumb test. Press down on the edges of your comfort zone and ask yourself, is there growing room here? Or have you bought shoes that fit perfectly for who you were 5 years ago? Growth happens in the space between comfortable and capable. If everything in your life feels easy, if nothing makes you slightly nervous anymore, if you've mastered every task on your desk and every conversation at the dinner table, congratulations, you've stopped growing. That tight, uncomfortable feeling when you try something new, that's a warning sign. That's growing room being put to use. Benjamin Franklin's gravestone got it right. It says, most of us die at 25 and just wait around to be buried at 70. Not because our bodies stop, but because we decide we're done. We stop learning new skills because I'm too old for that. We stop meeting new people because I have enough friends. We stop challenging our own opinions because I know what I believe. We trade the thumb test for the comfort test. And we wonder why life feels smaller every year after year. Find one area in your life where the shoe fits too perfect. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your knowledge. You haven't read a challenging book or learned a genuinely new skill in years. Maybe it's your relationship. You only talk to people who think exactly like you do. Maybe it's your fear. There's something you wanted to try for a decade, but it feels, too uncomfortable, too risky, too far outside your size range. Whatever it is, apply the thumb test. Make room. Choose growing room over comfort. Truth is, we've never stopped growing. Not really. We just stop making room for it. We buy life in our current size and wonder why it feels so tight, why we can't really quite breathe, why that restless feeling won't go away. Here's to a new year with room to grow. May it be a little uncomfortable. May it pinch in all the right places. May it remind you that you're not done yet, not by a long shot. Now, go and find a shoe that's a little big and grow into it. And blessed are they who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. You take care.